It was just an ancient book, but as she starts to turn the page, a sleeping dragon slowly comes to life. A girl called Lily, she's casting spells and weaving magic. Just a girl called Lily, traveling back in time. Such great adventures they can share. Never know what's waiting there. They can take their secret anywhere. A girl called Lily, casting spells and weaving magic, moving through time. That's Lily.
And so, after the maiden had kissed the sleeping prince, mwah, yuck, and lifted the curse, the prince set out for revenge. And that's it.
What? The story can't end there. What kind of ending is that?
Just checking if you're still awake. The prince set out for revenge. Revenge against the evil beast that had placed this dastardly curse on him. At last, the prince reached the entrance to the beast's cave, set in an enormous mountain that spat sulfur and smoke. But then, suddenly, and to his great surprise, the prince found not the evil beast, but a big frog with a crown on its head. And the frog cleared its throat and said,
Wait a minute. You're just making that up.
"I'm not."
R2.
And a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a... Ooh!
This fairy tale book of yours was quite a hit.
Was it?
Just one little problem. The end of the story of Prince Moribund happens to be missing. And
I want to know what happens next.
we have to find out how this story ends, and fast.
Memory was never my strong suit. But if it's a fairy tale, we'll have to go back in time to the land of fairy tales. It's just a small detour off the Middle Ages.
The land of fairy tales. Let's see.
Ah, yes. The land of princesses and dapper knights, of talking pigs and... of dragons. Wasn't there something...
Lily, where are you? Leon is desperate to hear the end of this story.
I know, Mom. I'll be out in just a minute. Okay, I found it. Shing-a-linga!
Up we sing-a! Lemon lime back in time! That castle looks familiar somehow.
Of course it does. It's the castle from the story. That must be where the prince is. This is ridiculous. We have to try something else. We've got plenty of magic. Let's try a spell. As we arrived in fairyland,
All around are prickly strands.
these thorns that sting,
An awful thing.
there should be rubber bands.
Rubber bands? Oh,
Had to make it rhyme, didn't I?
okay. So you made it rhyme. But how are we gonna get out of here now? I found him! The prince! He's up here! You have to get up here! I keep having the strangest feeling like I've seen this guy before. The same way I did with his castle. Oh well, my mind isn't what it used to be.
Look, we have to find out how this fairy tale ends. So,
The sleeping prince is kissed by a fair maiden, right?
you don't mean that I...
Hey, don't look at me. You're the only one here who could pass for a fair maiden. So...
Whoa! What's happening? Stop it with the magic tricks. It's not fair. Come here. I'll show you a thing or two. Stop. You're tickling me. Oh, what's that? Oh, that was weird. And who are you?
I'm Lily, which...
A witch?
Oh.
Ha!
I'm Lily, which kissed you. Okay.
And I am Moribund the Magnificent, the most ruthless prince that ever lived. Have you ever heard the legend of the Ruthless Prince? Oh, that's me! That's my legend! I know it's not quite finished yet, but wait a minute. Why did you kiss me?
Oh.
You like me, huh? Come on now, don't be shy. You can have a seat in the front row watching ruthless me in a fantastic fight against the evil beast.
Hey, that's exactly what we came here to find out. He'll lead us right to it. Whoa! Sorry.
I shall further my amazing legend with a fitting and ruthless revenge on that evil beast that placed this curse on me.
So what do we do now?
Hang on tight. This guy's going to lead us right to the solution of our little mystery.
But before we do that, we have to stop by and see Tobias the Bard. Have to make sure my legend is properly chronicled and all that.
Moribund, what are you doing here? I thought you were cursed and...
I'm much better now, Tobias. Well rested and ready for action.
But weren't you supposed to be kissed by a maiden or something?
Absolutely.
Well, what maiden in her right mind would... Oh, I could have sworn we'd warned all the maidens in the land not to...
What?
Oh, nothing.
Now that the curse has been lifted, I'm off to get my revenge on the evil beast. That would be the next step, wouldn't it, to further my legend?
Sure. Revenge is always a good one. I'd better join you then and chronicle your, Anyway, somebody has to keep an eye on you.
Yes, join me on my merciless quest for revenge and write down my glorious tale.
And all this time, I thought princes were supposed to be charming.
You have our bard to thank for that. They always make things seem a little rosier and more exciting than they actually are.
You couldn't have known not to kiss Moribund.
But why were all the maidens in the land warned not to kiss him?
Okay, I'll tell you. But it's not exactly the kind of stuff legends are made of. Once upon a time, there was a ghastly brood of a prince called Moribund, who for some reason thought the legend of the Ruthless Prince would be a good title for his own legend. But he was so ruthless that to make his own legend stand out above the others, he set out to destroy the other legends and fairy tales.
Oh, Rapunzel, let down your golden hair. Hey! Oop.
Come back here, you clown! Don't cry, Gretel. I've come up with a wonderful plan to save us. We'll take this loaf of bread and use the breadcrumbs to...
A little snack, just what I needed.
Yes. Well, if I had a plan B, I'd tell you about it at this point. But as it turns out, our little fairy tale has come to a quick and pointless end.
I'll give you 3 days days to find out my name. And if you do, then you may keep your child.
But how can I find out your name?
Try Rumpelstiltskin.
Rumpelstiltskin? Rumpelstiltskin! Yes!
But that's no way to end a fairy tale.
Moribund was wrecking every fairy tale in the land. It got so bad that they all got together and decided that something had to be done about this annoying prince. So, they decided to pay the only available magician in the land to cast a spell on Moribund. Actually, not a magician. More like a dragon who could cast magic spells.
A dragon who can cast magic spells? Wait a minute. That sounds familiar.
Oh, I told you that prince in that castle looked familiar somehow. It was me, a younger me that cast the spell on the prince. Now I remember.
You're the evil beast Moribund's been talking about.
Evil? I was performing a public service.
I wonder what you were like when you were young.
Well, something like that.
Once the dragon cast his spell, Moribund fell into a deep sleep, and his castle was covered in thorns until you came along and kissed him.
Sorry. I can't wait to see Moribund meet the evil beast, which is actually you when you were young. That knucklehead isn't going to know what hit him.
Which knucklehead would that be? Moribund or me?
What do you mean?
Well, you see, it was always the magic that made me great, and I used up all my magic for some time to come on that curse that I placed on Moribund. It was supposed to last 100 years after all.
So, what you're telling me is that this is not the part of the story where you strike fear and terror into the heart of that bumbling oaf.
No. This is the part of the story where you offer that bumbling oaf your hand in marriage.
What?
Oh,
What are you talking about? I'm not going to...
where you offer Moribund your hand in marriage if he manages to defeat the younger me not in battle, but in a fair contest.
Why would I do that? If you lose, I wind up married to a complete fool.
Worse yet, if I lose, if Moribund slays the dragon, who happens to be the younger me, then I will cease to exist.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. Anyway, it's all very complicated. What it boils down to is you won't even be able to get home without me.
I suppose this is the beast's cave, set in an enormous mountain that spats sulfur and smoke.
Cozy, isn't it?
So let me get this straight. My choice is I risk being married to this bumpkin or I lose you. And I'm then stuck here for the rest of my life anyway.
Exactly. So you can see it's pretty obvious what you have to do. What are you waiting for? Of course you're gonna go for it. Tell him! Tell him!
Okay. But you owe me for this one. Big time. Tobias, I have a proposal to make.
She's absolutely right. There have been so many legends lately with princes smiting dragons, a contest would be a welcome change of pace.
What? No smiting?
What are they talking about? What does smiting mean?
Oh, you don't want to know. It's a very old word and it means... Look, he's giving a free demonstration.
Now. Smiting is so passé. To get a good fairy tale these days, I'm afraid it'll take more than just brute force. No, your legend will feature a battle of wits, of brain, and brawn, and even lessons learned.
Aw, just my luck. Battle of wits, lessons learned, blah, blah, blah. Why not just go in and get this over with? We could be home by lunchtime.
Moribund, who wants a good legend?
Me?
And who's the bard?
You?
And who knows all about what makes a good legend?
You?
Very good. Now go challenge the beast to a fair contest.
If you say so. Evil beast, we have come to challenge you to a fair contest. But seriously, I still get to smite him, don't I?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's this about? I was just taking a nap.
But Hector, the younger you looks just like you.
Well, there's a surprise.
Except he's a little bigger.
A little bigger? He's a lot bigger. But that's me in my prime, I'll have you know.
The first part of the contest will be a joust, which is all the rage among the knights of today.
Oh, I still can't believe you're me. Why on earth did I shrink? I mean, look at you. That's really not important right now. It's perfectly normal, all right? And there's nothing you can do about it? I mean, I can do about it? Believe me, I've tried everything. Now, will you just win this thing for us so that buffoon over there doesn't smite you and we can both live happily ever after?
Do your worst, Hector. We'll be right behind you.
You wouldn't mind being right in front of me for this one, would you?
We can get at least one more spell out of this, Hector. Here he comes, all full of bluster.
Our magic power we must muster
Please hear our plea.
and save young me.
Turn his lance into a feather duster.
No tickling! Stop it!
The second challenge is a test of mental agility to see who will be the first to untie the guardian knot.
Oh, yeah.
I suppose that counts. As we enter the third and final round, the score is 1 each. And now it is time for the race through the humongous forest. The race goes from one end of the forest to the other and back 10 times. I'll be waiting on one side and Lilly on the other to make sure you're both running the full distance.
The amulet's run out of magic, Hector. We don't have enough for another spell.
Hey! Uh-oh. But there's no way even the young and sprightly me can outrun Moribund.
What are we going to do?
Pick out a nice wedding dress?
Wait a minute. Moribund hasn't even seen you yet, has he?
I don't think so.
Since we are in the land of fairy tales, that gives me an idea. Here's what we do.
Go!
You'd better hurry up, Moribund. That dragon's beaten you in the first round already.
Wait, what's happened to him? He's gone all tiny.
Not tiny, far away. He's gone an extra mile just to show you up. And look, he's heading back this way.
Where you been? I even took the long way around and I still get here before you. Now get a move on!
And Hector the dragon wins! Unfortunately, Moribund, it looks like you'll be heading back to your castle without a bride.
Tobias, what kind of legend have you steered me into? I lose the contest? I lose the princess? I just have to go back to being my ruthless self.
I know a way you can get yourself a princess, Moribund. You could try to be friendly and charming, You know, find yourself a princess the old-fashioned way.
What's she talking about?
Sounds like a particularly modern concept to me. But it's an interesting idea.
Huh? A prince that's charming?
I think it has potential as a legend. The legend of Prince Charming. It has a certain I don't know what.
Really?
Trust me on this one.
Oh.
It may be novel and even shocking to you, but basically, the idea seems to be that you're actually nice to people instead of just trying to annoy them all the time.
Will you stop writing all this stuff down and talk to me? Give me all kinds of amazing advice so I can have a really cool life.
You'll make mistakes. Take my word for it.
Oh, I know. I just want to know which ones.
The most important thing is, whatever you do, don't ever...
Hector, the amulet is flashing blue. We're running out of time here.
Don't ever what?
It's this amulet. When it flashes, it...
Would you just tell me what?
Oh, you mean the thing that I was just talking about? The most important thing is, whatever you do, don't ever...
Oh,
no! Don't ever what? How could I possibly know? I never told me to begin with.
Lily, where's the rest of that story? Leon is driving me nuts. Just give them to me. I'll read the rest. You've been reading to him for hours already. Thanks, Lily.
Thanks, Mum. Oh, goody.
Right. Where did she leave off? And so, the prince stepped forward to challenge the dragon to come out of his cave. And out he came. Hector, the most glorious dragon the land of fairy tales had ever seen, and in fact the true hero of this tale, stepped forward to vanquish the evil prince, who was stricken with fear
so
at the
I may
sight
have
of...
embellished a little. If someone like Moribund can become a heroic Prince Charming, why can't I?
You looked so funny.
Good.